everybody, it is April and I'm in my Grace room and it is Fall Festival already. Can you believe it? It's already here. One of my favorite times of the year. Well, I don't know about you, but I am ready to get all decorated for fall. I see the leaves falling. It's kind of cool in the morning. I'm really looking forward to pumpkin spice coffee and pumpkin spice muffins. It's all those things that you associate with fall. Unfortunately, my table is not looking very fall. I still have, my 4th of July stuff up. So I am going to make some placemats and a table runner. And I thought that you might like to join me because you can take fabric and your long arm and you can make some awesome placemats and table runners. You don't even need a pattern. All you need is, fabric and thread and some batting, maybe a couple other things. But let me show you how to get started. Here I have some fat quarters. Now I found these at Walmart. The pattern or patterns are adorable. I love, there you go. I love these patterns. I actually took one of my bundles apart, just for you guys. It's so pretty. So here is one of those that I'm hoarding. And I did take the liberty of going ahead and pressing these. This is another one, so you can get the full view of the pattern. I mean, these are so pretty. I love them. And I'm going to love seeing them on my table. Now, here are some that I found at Joann's. What my plan is to use fat quarters on top, another Joann's, and have a backing that is Thanksgiving themed. So they'll be reversible. I can use them this fall for the fall theme, and then I can flip them over in November and use them for Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at my setup. So here you can see that I've loaded the backing already. It is ready to go. This frame is a Q-Zone Queen frame. So it's got just the 2-rail system and I really like it. It's very easy to use. It's plenty big enough. I have my 16X set up. I've got my thread loaded. I think this is a color that will go nicely with my backing and also with the fabrics that are on the front. I also have my ruler base on because I plan on doing some strip piecing on one of my projects. So I'll show you how to use that in a little while. Now I need a layer of batting because that is what is going to be in between my backing and the top of my placemats. Now it's not quite as wide as my backing, but that's okay. I'm just going to center it and we're ready to go. Now my struggle is trying to figure out which fat quarter I want to use first. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, a fat quarter that's 18 by 21? That is a big placemat. It's not going to end up that big. We're going to start out with the 18 by 21, but when we do some quilting on it, it's going to kind of suck in a little bit, and then we're going to trim it down. And then we'll put the binding around the edges. Let me go figure out which one I want. Now, when I pull my thread, it seems a little snug. So what I am doing, I am adjusting this lever. If I pull on my thread and it's really hard to pull, then what's going to happen is it's going to get shredded on the other side of this disc system. So I'm loosening it. I don't want it too loose, but I don't want it too tight either. I want to baste this down so that it doesn't move. I put my needle down and then I bring my needle up and I'm going to pull my bobbin thread out. Now I'm going to try and place my needle exactly where I had it before. This makes sure that my bobbin thread doesn't get knotted up or have issues. So I'm going to trim that. Now I'm going to, in regulated precise mode, I'm going to baste. You can get really fancy with your stitches, or you can do a simple loopy meander. So here you can see where I've done some leaves. Something else you want to pay attention to is the quality of your stitch. Is your stitch evenly spaced? Do you have any issues with thread not going down like a loop here and there? We have these two placemats. We've sewn as far as we can sew. So I'm going to unhook the clips. And then I am going to pull the latch down on this back bar and put it in a position where I can roll it. I'm also going to put the front bar in a position where it can be rolled. Now I left the needle down so I can roll this up with the needle in place and not have any issue starting where I stopped. So here I'm going to lock that so this back bar won't roll anymore. And I will lock this front and I'll roll it a little bit so that I make sure that everything is nice and tight. Not too tight, but just tight enough. Then when I'm done with these two, we'll come back and do some strip piecing. My table runner is going to consist of strips. And what I want to do is I want to attach my strips here on my long arm. So I've lined them up about how I want them to go. Now I told you that I was going to share with you how I use my ruler. So this is where my ruler comes in handy. So right here I need another strip. And I can still just attach this on my long arm. And what I can do is I'll lay this here, and then I can put a seam here and lay it out. Now the only problem is I've got my ruler base on and I don't know if it will go all the way. It will not. So let's switch these up. And I want to sew these strips together before I sew this strip. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this strip to this strip. So I'm going to fold this over so that I have right sides together, and I will trim all this up when it's done. So we have these two strips down. Now we are going to place the next strip face down on top of the strip that I want to attach it to. Now this time I can use my ruler on the back side of my needle. And I should have shown you this before. This is a ruler foot. So when you put your ruler next to your ruler foot, that prevents you from going underneath the foot and your needle hitting this acrylic piece. Because if this needle hits this acrylic, more than likely your needle is going to break and it could do other harm. Now when I want to move my ruler, maybe when I get, a little more ruler proficient, then I won't need to stop. But if you need to stop, stop. Nobody is going to say a word. They'll never even know. So I'm past the end of my green, so I am going to needle up, pull away, needle down, up again. This pulls up my bobbin thread. I need to trim that so it doesn't keep going and going on the bottom side of my machine. And we have another strip. So this is an easy way to do kind of a quilt as you go, but on your long arm. Of course, you have the backing fabric already there. So once you're done with putting your strips on your batting and your backing, you can just trim it. So let me finish this up, and then we will take our placemats and our table runner to the cutting mat and we'll trim it up. One more thing, the reason that you need a ruler plate or ruler base on your machine is because your ruler needs somewhere to rest. If you are trying to place your ruler on a place where there's not a flat surface, it's not going to work very well. And here we have our cute backing, two soon-to-be placemats, and a table runner. Let's go trim these up. So what I'm going to do is just do an initial trim to get this excess fabric off the edges. I am using the Grace True Cut system with the rotary cutter. Now it's getting to be a more manageable size. So Alexa says that a standard size placemat is 12 inches by 18 inches. Okay, so here we have our placemat. Let's set that aside. We'll go ahead and cut this placemat down as well. And if you look on the back, there's a cute little Thanksgiving theme. So these guys are reversible. And here I have my table runner. Now I have already cut my binding, and this is just fabric that I had. So what I will do is I will actually start on the back side, and I will sew the binding on the back, and then I will roll it over to the front and attach it. I have some tutorials on binding if you want to check those out. So let me put the binding on this, and we will get this fun new table setting ready. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that it gave you some helpful tips and tricks. Remember, placemats, table runners, they're all just small quilts. If there's a particular design that you want to practice, start with placemats or just fat quarters in general, and you can make them into bags. But that is the perfect way to get some of your muscle memory by moving the machine around. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to put a plate on it. Thank you, Grace, for giving me this opportunity to share with the Grace community. And I am very glad that I am a part of it. I am going to end this video with showing you what my placemats turned out to look like. And I have my table just a little bit better decorated for the fall. I cannot wait to go see all the beautiful projects that people have made. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate. Be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye.